Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, it's been a while. It's been a few days or a number of few days, and I haven't posted, and that's been purposeful. I took about a week's break for the Thanksgiving holiday and that season, and I'll probably take a few more breaks until we hear some news from Gotham Knights. But I wanted to go ahead and make this video as kind of a question and an answer, and something to just kind of catch up with you guys here in the audience. And also, I have some content coming up soon, and I'll talk about that later in this video. But today I'm asking the question, who are the fans of Gotham Knights? Are there people that are even interested in this game? Is anybody out there that's actually truly looking to play a game about the four knights? I mean, who really wants to play as Nightwing? Who cares about the Red Hood? I mean, for crying out loud, Batgirl, what's Batgirl? And you know, Robin, oh, come on, give me a break. Well, I'm being sarcastic, and you guys basically know this. I guess I'm asking these questions because it's been over a month since we heard anything from the DC Fandom event, and even more so, it's been nearly a month since we heard anything from Warner Brothers Games Montreal in terms of their Twitter feed. I haven't looked at the Discord server in a while because it just doesn't seem like much is going on. Now, I know we have to be patient. I get it. And I am. I'm not in a hurry for some game to come out. But I think this game has broken tradition in many ways than one. And it's a little concerning. But let's look at a few things first. So think on this, okay? Even if your game isn't coming out for the next 2 years, how do you approach that? How do you approach your marketing? How do you approach your communication with your audience? And the answer is quite simple. The answer is that you continue to drop teasers, you continue to stay in constant communication, and this long bouts of silence really does make me feel like the developers don't necessarily, or let me not say the developers, because they're working on developing the game, or let me say the marketing side do not necessarily understand who their audience is. And I say this not as a simple statement. And I know some people may say I'm being negative, but guys, no, this is critique based on what we have as evidence. Let me point out a few things to you. So let's go to Insomniac and look at their Twitter page and look at the way they promote all of what it is that they have. They talk about their old games. They also put some new games out there in terms of job listings, job postings, and what in the world it is that they're kind of working on to continue to keep fans interested. You see, these job postings that they put on Twitter, to be very honest, I don't think they're looking necessarily for people in the Twitter audience that are going to come work in the studio. They're just putting them out there for people to continue to understand that they're actively looking for people to continue to work on the game. That in itself produces some level of interest from the community of gamers. With Warner Brothers Games Montreal, we haven't necessarily seen a lot of that in the past few months or weeks. And even if they're no longer hiring, at least there are a few things that they could still be doing, because once in a while, you see, Insomniac would do things like, you know, mentioning a few aspects of what it is that they're working on. In fact, their recent post about Wolverine, they basically talked a little bit about some slashing and all that stuff, got the fans all hyped. Now, if you say Insomniac is just one example, I would say not necessarily. Let's look at Eidos Montreal, the people who just released Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, yes, this is basically one game that they've made out of many other games, but one thing that their Twitter page will not do is shut up. They continue to post and continue to talk about this game. It's like the game is the only most exciting game in the world. And even the person or the people running the social media marketing seem to be very excited about the game. And I think fans actually, in a sense, follow suit about this kind of excitement. I don't know what's going on in the marketing side of Warner Brothers Games Montreal. You see, it's not like they don't have an old game that they've made in the past. Sure, they made the game in the shadow of Rocksteady's own thing. But again, there always is some way to continue to, showcase what it is they have. As of right now, they've shown us 2 villains in their game and 1 villain group. They've shown us Penguin, who is somewhat of a villain. They've shown us a little bit of Anarchy in a sense, or his minions. They've also shown us Mr. Freeze, and they've also shown us the Court of Owls. So basically 2 villain groups and 2 villains in a sense. Maybe in this game, the Penguin will probably be some kind of an anti-hero or whatever it is. I think this is a very constant thing that they can continue to use as communication for their fans. I know it's crazy. I came back from this little break and I'm coming with the thunder and the fire, But I think with all of this space in between, I don't necessarily say I can commend that they've done a good job. And you have to give me a little bit of leeway here to be able to drop this criticism, because I want for this game to do very well. And you may say, well, it might be a long time before we see a lot of what it is that they have next. And the Game Awards might be the next big announcement that they may have. I definitely understand, and I definitely get it. But again, if the Game Awards was something that they were trying to maybe reveal something, would they not be somewhat excited about it if they were trying to do something about the Game Awards? Because at this stage, it's no longer a secret reveal. If you get what I mean, you know, we've already seen the 2 reveals of Gotham Knights in 2 official, events, DC Fandom 2020 and DC Fandom 2021. So if they were going to be at the Video Game Awards, which I don't know if they'll be, maybe they will, don't you think they'd be saying things like, see you at the Game Awards, putting out a few more GIFs and a few more things just to kind of get the fandom excited? I don't know exactly how to analyze this or put a conclusion to it, because I don't want to be somebody who says never say never. But if these signs are indicative of anything negative, then it's not a good thing. But the reverse of all of what I've just said could be they are busy at work, burying their heads, working on this game, so focused about every single thing that this game is bringing that they don't necessarily have time to do a lot of the marketing and a lot of the hype generation. Who knows? It might be that this is the case. And I actually hope that the reason that they're so quiet is they're just focusing 100% of the game, even though it will, at the end of the day, somewhat hurt their brand, because they're not keeping it in the minds of other gamers. Because next year, a lot of those games that were canceled in 2020, the ones that were delayed in 2021, are more than likely going to be rearing their heads. And it's no longer about fandom at this point. It's more about fandom, excitement, and your pocket dollars. It's the game that's been on your mind that you're going to be most likely to go ahead and patronize, if you were to ask me. But again, I just wanted to make sure that I made this video to just say, they're developers, what are you doing? Understanding your audience is a very huge critical part, and you have to stay talking. Plan out a 30 or 40-day social media campaign every so often or every quarter, so that your community can know exactly how it is that you see them and how you portray them. If not, a lot of people are going to lose the excitement that you generated last year and even this year in the fandom event. But again, nobody asked me, right? Just you guys here in the community. And I appreciate y'all for watching the video. Thanks so much for your time and audience. And again, like I mentioned, I want to start bringing some other content. Hopefully soon, I'll start talking a little bit more about Wolverine. I've gotten myself the X-Men Wolverine's Origins game on the Xbox One, and I really want to go ahead and start playing that game because I never played it. And I want to get some context on X-Men video games in terms of that game, which is one of the better ones. And hopefully we'll be talking about this in the near future. So see you guys in another video. Thanks once again, and we'll talk soon. Peace out.